Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food, it's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today is Monday, and it's the beginning of new month, the beginning of a new day, the beginning of a new week. So make sure to do some planning for the upcoming months, for the upcoming week, and for today. Because guys, what you put on your calendar, what you plan, the actions, the projects that you want to commit to with your time and energy, those things, they will change your life. You cannot think yourself into your dream life or living the life of your dreams. You gotta actually do things. And once you start doing or taking actions every single day, the actions that you think will lead you towards living the life that you wanna live, life of your dreams, every day when you do something to move you towards your dream will feel like you are already living it. And that's ultimately how you start having more fun, more joy, more enthusiasm, more energy every single day. So plan it, do it, and live a life of your dreams. And also check out my Instagram video. You can also find it on Twitter and on Facebook. And the video is from Kuala Lumpur. By the way, we moved to Moscow for the time being. So the video is from Kuala Lumpur, and on this video I'm talking about how to start living your dream life every single day, starting today, and how I found my passion and how you can find yours too, and how you can't think yourself into living your passion, your dream life. You gotta do certain things. And in this short video on my Instagram, also Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, you learn how I did that and what I'm learning from more leaders, thought leaders, entrepreneurs. That's how everybody does it. And if you want to start living your dreams, start living the life of passion, that you gotta do it too. So check out this video on my Instagram. And then now let's get back to our food school, to our healthy eating 101 course, to our healthy eating learnings and habits and practical skills that when you use these skills, you will improve your eating habits. Healthier eating habits are not about calories or perfect meal plan. It's about those skills that you learn, you practice, and you keep them for life, and they will automatically make your eating habits healthy eating habits. Today we are talking about meal planning, meal prepping, how to design a healthy and nutrition-full breakfast, lunch, and dinner to get to satisfy maximum of your nutrition needs as of human being, we as these animals, human beings, we have certain nutrition needs. And so today we are talking about meal planning or breakfast, lunch, dinner that will allow you to eat maximum nutrition that you actually need for health and to thrive and to perform the best mentally and physically. So we are talking about that. We are also talking about meal prepping. We are talking about healthier desserts. And then after that, you just gotta plan it and practice it. And guys, anything at the beginning when you start doing something seems like a lot of work, a lot of energy, more decisions. It just seems like too much, right? But it's just the way it is. When you start something, it always feels like you gotta, do more or extend more energy and more time. But after you do it for a while and you create your routine, it's gonna be really seamless, really easy, and it will not require any more energy or any more time than you usually spend on eating and shopping and meal planning. In fact, it's probably going to take you less time after you create your routine than what you have now. A lot of people actually do not create a routine around their eating habits, and that's why it's, so time consuming at times. But let's get back to practice. So let's first talk about lunches, breakfast, and dinners. How do you make sure, or really what kind of foods you need to eat to satisfy maximum amount of your nutrition needs? And it's not that complicated, guys. So for breakfast usually is something where you want to have really good amount of nutrients because it's the beginning of your day, and you will need these nutrients to perform your work, to do your workouts, to be your best. And breakfast, guys, it doesn't have to be early, it doesn't have to be really early in the morning. Breakfast is basically breaking the fast or the first meal of the day. So you can, do intermittent fasting in the morning and then have your breakfast, even though that breakfast can be at 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. But for that breakfast, you probably want to get some really good quality nutrients, but also you kind of want to make it simple usually, unless you're someone like me who does their breakfast almost at dinner time, then it's a different story. But today we are talking about most of you guys who have breakfast somewhere in the morning or early in the day, then probably lunch and dinner. So for breakfast, I recommend to have 3-4 pastured eggs prepared in any way you want, but boiled or poached probably is better than fried, because usually that preserves more nutrients in your eggs. And probably soft boiled is also better than hard boiled because it also preserves more essential fats that we have in our eggs, and more nutrition is going to be preserved the less you cook that egg. So eggs, 3-4 eggs. Then I would also recommend to get some fiber, some potassium, and of course I recommend to get some sodium in your breakfast because sodium is an essential electrolyte, and you need to get some to function your best. So all the signals between your cells just fire at a light speed. So avocado for your fiber, for your magnesium, for your potassium, for your monounsaturated fats that are super great for your heart health and for your arteries, and a lot of other things you can find in avocado, really rich in nutrients. So 3-4 eggs, an avocado. You might also have some seafood like sardines, like herring, all that fatty fish like salmon. Also a great substitution for your eggs, and mix it or pair it with your avocado. I like to have for my breakfast, and I recommend people to do that because it saves a lot of time. Have some good quality canned seafood for breakfast, so you don't even have to do any cooking. Have an avocado, have some seafood, or have some 3-4 eggs, and that also gonna give you somewhere around 30 grams of protein, healthy fats, fiber. That's a delicious and amazing breakfast that you can even pack with you. Have your boiled eggs with your canned seafood, an avocado, cut it at home prior, so it's easy for you to eat it anywhere, wherever you are. And that again will give you your omega-3 fatty acids, your vitamin A, your vitamin D, your choline in eggs, potassium, magnesium, fiber in avocado. Seafood, you're also going to get calcium and probably other minerals. So very nutritious, and at the same time, light, not so much in calories, but it's going to feel light in your stomach because it doesn't occupy a lot of space, and it doesn't require a lot of digestive power. So that is an amazing breakfast. Some people like to have something like a green smoothie, even though I do not recommend to blend a lot of your things, but to actually chew your food and try to eat as much whole food as possible. Green smoothie is not a great option to get a lot of nutrition in. The only thing is, when you have your green smoothie, I would probably still suggest you to get 2-3 eggs for more protein and healthy fats and other nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin K, a lot of nutrients in eggs, so I would probably still have that. Avocado I would blend into that green smoothie. So that green smoothie I would put in some powerful greens, powerful meaning they have a lot of nutrients, and those are fresh or frozen Swiss chard, collard greens, spinach, broccoli, or Brussels sprouts. You can put all of it into your smoothie, and then you add some liquid. I usually suggest either to use water, depending what else is gonna go into this smoothie. You need to kind of experiment to find your favorite taste. So greens, fresh or frozen, liquid, or you can also use non-dairy milk that pairs really well with greens. Like usual milk, it will not go well with greens, just believe me, for a lot of reasons, but that can end up in disastrous pants. So greens, something like unsweetened almond milk or unsweetened coconut milk, or any sorts of non-dairy milk, unsweetened, goes really well with greens. So you put that into your blender, then you add half of an avocado for creaminess. Then for sweet flavor, I would recommend either use stevia or monk fruit extract, or maybe have some berries like maybe frozen blueberries, or fresh if you have good quality berries fresh available to you, or strawberries, or other kind of berries, or maybe a banana, especially if that's after your workout or before your workout, first part of the day. If you're someone who eats fruit, then you can have your fruit there. And again, for additional sweetness, you can add some stevia, some monk fruit. You can also add some vanilla extract, natural vanilla extract, maybe some cocoa powder to make it chocolatey. I also like to add some hemp seed powder. Hemp seeds have a lot of nutrition too. And anything, any add-ons you can add to that smoothie. Healthy superfoods, like again, hemp seed powder, or maybe chia seed powder, not powder, but chia seeds, and blend it all and enjoy. That's another great breakfast. But remember, like with things like green smoothies, you probably want to consume it right away, because greens oxidize and you will lose a lot of nutrition if you blend it and then you let it sit, in your fridge or somewhere else waiting for you. So in case of smoothie, maybe make it and go to work, and on the way you can consume that. But I recommend you to go for whole foods instead. So maybe 3-4 eggs, an avocado, or canned seafood like sardines, like herring, and an avocado, and that's your breakfast. For lunches and dinners, guys, I recommend for you to make two main meals, meaning, for example, if you have this breakfast and then you have two other meals, lunch and dinner, you might have one of the meals out, or you might have it at home, but make one of the meals lighter and just experiment with foods there and get creative and go for whatever you feel like. This is for a lighter meal. Of course, have your vegetables, non-starchy, or if you prefer to have a little bit more carbohydrates, then maybe go for sweet potatoes or other starchy vegetables like chestnuts. There are actually quite a few nutrition-rich starchy vegetables, so look them up. Potatoes is probably your least nutrition choice, but sweet potato is amazing. So anyhow, some vegetables, some fatty protein like fatty fish or organ meats or canned seafood, or you might have eggs, depending what you had for breakfast. So one of the meals, again, it's going to be lighter. Then for your dinner, let's say your dinner is another substantial meal of your day. You might have it at home or no, but try to make the second meal this nutritious and substantial meal consisting of a lot of vegetables. A day, I would recommend you to go, besides all the avocados, I would go for at least a pound of vegetables or half a kilo of vegetables every single day. That's what I try to do. And for that second substantial meal of the day, for your lunch or your dinner, you're gonna have a lot of vegetables, like maybe most of your vegetables, and in those vegetables you want to include something with more nutrition, something like broccoli, like Brussels sprouts, like spinach, like asparagus, like Swiss chard, collard greens, kale. Most of those greens, when they're mature, you gotta cook them for like 5 minutes to be able to digest them and absorb the nutrition properly. And then, of course, add your fatty protein, maybe organ meats, maybe fatty cuts of meats. Liver is amazing, maybe some more fish, maybe some seafood. But I also always recommend to go for 2 meals a day for fatty fish, seafood, maybe then some organ meats like liver that are amazing for so many nutrients, and then eggs. Those proteins, fatty proteins, are really powerful because they have a lot of nutrients. And so mix your vegetables, add some herbs and spices, some salt, some oils like olive oil or coconut oil, or maybe eat another avocado for more healthy fats. Eat some whole olives, maybe nuts and seeds for your fiber and your minerals, and so many other amazing nutrients in your nuts and seeds. And yeah, so the basic idea, guys, if you are someone who has 3 meals a day, then breakfast is your nutritious compilation of those foods that we talked about. Then lunch or dinner also should be one of your substantial meals, where you're gonna eat a lot of vegetables, where you're gonna eat protein and fat. And then if you have a third meal, then make it something lighter. Maybe have some nuts and seeds, plus maybe some canned seafood, plus maybe fresh salad, something that feels light, something where you don't have to go for maximum nutrition, but is still healthy and nutritious. And you always, for each of your meal, want to pair vegetables and healthy fats and proteins. Fats are also important because a lot of vitamins are fat soluble, and you need to consume fat in order for you to absorb those vitamins and some nutrients. And that's why if you are eating some lean meat but consume some nutrients, some fat soluble vitamins with that, you need to include some source of fat. So an avocado will do, maybe some olive oil, some coconut oil. And that's it, guys. It's actually really simple when you think about that. And again, you probably have much more power and control over your meals than you think you do when you think ahead about it, when you actually plan. And when it comes to meal prepping, or basically cooking in advance so you don't have to spend time on it every single day, I recommend to do meal prep no more than for 3 days. Even 3 days for me feels like too much, because guys, whenever you cook your food and it starts oxidizing, you lose more and more nutrients as it sits there. Especially it is true for vegetables. They lose their nutrition really, really fast when you cook them and you store them somewhere, right? So of course I prefer to eat freshly cooked meals, but if you can't, maybe freeze them, because freezing preserves more nutrition, and then reheat them. But sometimes it's just not a workable solution, because some food just lose everything, meaning like the taste and the texture when you freeze them. Then put them into a sealed container in your fridge. And again, I recommend to cook no more than for 2-3 days. And what you want to do to have your meals ready to go, I usually recommend to have already some Tupperware or some containers where you can put your meal, grab it and go. And separately pre-cook vegetables, pre-cook your proteins, and put them in separate containers too, so you can assemble your meal to go and put it into a separate container every single time. So for example, what I mean by that is cook vegetables for as many meals as you need, figure out the amount that you need to cook, put those vegetables in bulk somewhere in your fridge, then pre-cook maybe some fish, some organ meats, those really nutritious fatty and protein-rich foods. Put them in separate containers too, and then when you need to have your meal, grab it and go. Have a container ready. Put 2/3, actually 3/4, somewhere like that, of that container. Put your vegetables, and then put your fatty protein for one meal or for 2 meals, depending how many meals you're gonna have out and you need to do meal prep for. So pre-cook your vegetables, pre-cook your fatty protein, and then when you need to have that meal, assemble your meal on the go. No cooking, maybe just reheating, and that's it. And don't forget to add some extras in your pantry, in your fridge, something like nuts and seeds, macadamia nuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts, pecan nuts. Have those nuts also in containers, 1 serving containers. Separate them in 1 single serving packets or packages. Have them there ready to go, or with you whenever you go. Have some canned seafood also stuck up somewhere, so that is an easy thing to grab and go and eat in any place also. So have some canned seafood, have some avocados, have some olives that are also easy to grab and go and eat them somewhere. Have some maybe dried fish or beef jerky or cured meats of good quality without preservatives, additives, and just nasty chemicals. So have all of this also available for you to assemble some food on the go, and go when you need to go and travel, when you need to go to work, when you need to go to a meeting, and you need to have some food that you can maybe eat on the go while commuting to the place of your meeting. So also don't forget, for convenience, to have some small packages of salt, of pepper, good quality sea salt, good quality pepper that you can easily grab and go, some vial of olive oil, or maybe coconut or avocado oil. I recommend using olive oil also, so you could grab it and have your own dressing wherever you are, if they don't have good quality oil, or if you're not sure that the place where you eat have good quality oil there. So have yours pre-packaged and ready to go with you. And then also don't forget to prepare your supplements, what I notice, guys, is a lot of people forget to take their supplements just because one reason. They're somewhere in this big jar, and it takes more energy and more time to think about taking them, or sometimes you're out of your house and you don't have them with you. So also prepare them in advance in single day servings, so you can easily grab them and go and get your supplements somewhere else if you're not at home eating. And another extra advice for you guys, separate your fish oil if you take it, and I recommend to take it for most people, and your mineral supplement, because, for example, iron can oxidize fish oil, and if you take them together, your fish oil cannot be as good as it can be and not as active as it could be. So separate some of your supplements and make sure that you understand how to separate your supplements a little bit, because some of them can react with each other, not in a beneficial for you way. Another small tip, magnesium. If you're taking magnesium, let's say 400 or 600 milligrams, I would probably take half in the morning because magnesium is important for energy creation, and I would have half before bed or with your last meal, so you sleep better, because magnesium also is important for your sleep quality. Another small tip is cooking. As I mentioned before, eating fresh is always best. A lot of nutrition is being lost while the food is being stored. Then frozen a lot of times will be better than what is on the shelves of the supermarket, because they freeze fruits and vegetables and berries at the peak of their ripeness, and they freeze them right away. They pick them and freeze them, and the most nutrition is preserved compared to when they pick up unripe vegetables or berries or greens, and those foods travel and then they sit at the shelves of your supermarket under light and exposed to oxygen, being oxidized, and a lot of nutrients are lost in that process, even though they're quote unquote fresh. So frozen a lot of times will be better. And last but not least, let's talk about desserts. And we already talked about that a little bit. The desserts are something that you want to enjoy once in a while, and then even if it's dessert with sugar and with traditional ingredients, it's not gonna have that much of an effect on your diet, but that shouldn't be more than like once a week really. And normal size dessert, like maybe a piece of cake, not like the whole cake. But remember also that you can create healthier versions of your desserts, and then you might have them more often. Like for example, if you have a favorite dessert, right? Look up the ingredients, how you can substitute them. So instead of traditional sugar, you might use some good substitution for that sugar, like stevia or monk fruit or something like erythritol, depending on the dessert and what kind of consistency you need in that dessert, what kind of form of that sweetener you need to make this dessert work. If that dessert requires some flour, then look up low carb, gluten-free or whatever it is you want to have a version of that flour that works in that dessert. If it requires milk, look up milk substitutions. If it requires eggs, look up egg substitutions. There are a lot these days that are pretty good. And if you need any advice on that, just ask me. I can give you a lot of advice about substitutions. And also try really cool, healthy desserts that I love. That can kill a lot of your cravings. Like for example, if you want ice cream, have some super ripe frozen bananas, cut frozen bananas in your fridge, and whenever you feel like ice cream, just put in your blender some of those frozen bananas, mix them with some cocoa powder, some vanilla, and here we go. You have your chocolate ice cream. Believe me, guys, you won't even notice the difference a lot of times. Add some coconut milk for more like for creamier consistency. If you want a chocolate mousse, for example, also one of my favorite things to have, then mash in food processor or blend in a really good blender super ripe avocado, almost, at the point where it's about to go bad, so that's how ripe it should be, and then blend it with enough cocoa powder, with some coconut cream, with some vanilla and stevia, and that's going to be an amazing chocolate mousse. You can even add a couple of strawberries, and that's an amazing dessert. And then also one of my favorite creamy, fresh, and really refreshing desserts, it's I don't even know how to call it, but basically, and you can find the video of this recipe on my Instagram, by the way. You mix coconut milk or coconut cream. Coconut cream obviously will give you a creamier consistency. You mix that with some frozen, I like raspberries, but you can also choose strawberries or other berries. So mix that with some cocoa powder again. Maybe add some stevia if you need more sweetness, but berries for me are sweet enough usually. So blend it, and then add some sugar-free, maybe sweetened with stevia or erythritol chocolate on top, some berries to decorate, and believe me, guys, that is an amazing dessert. So try one of these desserts. If you need more detailed recipe, ask me. And to conclude this episode, guys, we talked about how to maximize nutrition for your lunch, for your breakfast, for your dinner all together, and how to kind of create this meal plan that satisfies your maximum of your nutrition needs. Because as a human being, this animal, you have certain nutrition needs that you need to satisfy. Otherwise, you will lose your health, your energy is not going to be where it needs to be, you're going to have cravings, you're not going to perform your best mentally and physically. A lot of things will follow, and you're probably not going to live as long as you could. Your mental health also, your emotional health can suffer. A lot of things suffer when we don't satisfy our nutrition needs. So we talked about how to make really nutritious and easy and simple and fast breakfast, or the second substantial meal of your day. We talked about a lighter meal. We talked about basics of meal preparation, and also extra things that you want to have packed to grab and eat on the go. We talked about all of that, and we talked about desserts. And if you have any questions, guys, always feel free to reach out. And I want you to remember just a couple of things from this episode. First of all, you always have a lot of control over your food and over your nutrition when you plan it. When you don't plan it, then you might say, or there is nothing healthy available, but it is there. You just gotta plan it, figure out to make it easy, flawless, and start saving energy and time and upgrading your health, your mental and physical performance, and feeling better. Don't forget to check out video on Instagram. There is a video about of dessert, this coconut dessert that we talked about. There is also a video about how to start living your dream life, fueled with passion for what you want to do in life every single day of your life, starting today. So check that out too. And as usual, till next time, guys, eat better daily. I love you all, guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.